Let's read the question again, break it down. Girls, the first line, a spherical metal ball. So we know it's a sphere. Okay? It's heated so that its radius is expanding. Okay? So, girls, if it says the radius is expanding, in terms of like these symbols, can I say the change of the radius, dr, okay, over the time is 0.04 millimeters per second? Does that make sense? I'm trying to write down all the details I have in these symbols. Okay, so this is actually my first fact. Second fact, at what rate will its volume be increasing? That's the question, right? How can I write that in terms of what I've just done? Well, if it says at what rate will the volume, it says the volume, so dV over dt is the question, yeah? Because it says at what rate would the volume be increasing? Yeah, it's increasing over time, okay? But we always need three things, okay? See how it's got three variables? So my next one is when the radius is 3.4. So girls, we know that. What would be like my third variable if I was to like try and use that? So right now I've got like this, that's my that, dr over dt, that's like this. Yeah, see how they've got dt, dt, so I've got my dt's, but what's that middle one that I'm missing? dv over dr, does that make sense?
Well, what do you use it for?
Well, we need all three to actually find that. Yeah? So we agree like this is like the missing one from the ones over there? That's the question. Yeah, so in other words, let me rewrite this in terms of this, okay? So my dy over dt right now is basically dv over dt. My dy over dx is dv over dr. And my last one is dr over dt. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, here's the question. Here's the tricky part. We know this, that is a question, but we need to come up with it. We need an expression for this. How do we come up with an expression for this? Well, this goes back to our skills in year 10. Girls, it says a spherical metal ball, and we want to know the volume. What is the volume formula for a sphere? If you don't know, girls, it's 4 over 3. Yeah, sorry, that one. Yeah? So girls, listening, this is my volume formula. So what we're going to do from here is what? We're differentiating this in respect to R. See, they've got V and R, V and R. Let's differentiate it. So if I differentiate this, it's just basically 4 pi R squared. Okay? Now, we know the expression, but we need an actual value for this. What else are we given in the question? We are also given the radius is? Yeah. When radius is 3.4, that's given. Okay. I'm just subbing it in. Okay. Whatever that value that might be. Okay. Actually, I'll just check it up. Yeah, okay, so let's just assume that's right. So yeah, what are we doing? So this better work out. 27 times, what's my d over dt?
0.04.
Yeah.
It's 5.81.
Okay, thanks. Now, it's also important to write the units. Girls, my answer is volume over time. So this is millimeters cubed for the volume over seconds. When it comes to this type of question, girls, I like to actually use a diagram, all right? I'm going to use this as a diagram guide, all right? So, starting with that diagram, car A is north of the intersection. When I first read that question, the first thing that came to my mind is picture the car A being here, and let's say that's the intersection there in the origin, yeah? So car A is north, so this is north of the intersection. Is that all right? Now, next line, and traveling towards it. So what does that mean? It just means I'm just going to draw an arrow saying it's going towards it. Yeah? Now, while car B is moving away from the intersection, eastwards, so I'm going to say car B is here, and then, girls?
60 kilometers per hour.
That's right, but I'm just going to draw an arrow to indicate it's going away from the intersection. And yep, the speed is given at a constant rate of 60.
Kilometers per hour.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Just trying to make it look neat. Okay, now, the distance between the cars at any one time is 10 kilometers. So what they're saying is, so that's always going to be the case. Now, are we good so far? Find the rate at which car A will be moving. So in other words, car A speed is the question when, when car B is 8 kilometers from the intersection. So let's say, girls, let's say this point is 8 kilometers away from the intersection. Okay? So here's the problem that makes this question hard. There are no letters given whatsoever. So you know how we're given X, V, and or T and all that? We need to make it up. Or there are some things that you can make up and that's obvious. For instance, girls, this. Alright? This is a speed given, but we know its speed, and speed is always over time. But what letter should I give here that's appropriate in this context, given we're dealing with distances here? Sorry?
S. Capital S.
The letter I wanted you girls to think of. X. This is the X value. Think of it like that. Girls, let me make it clearer for you. How about X? You're traveling in eastward direction. So girls, what I really wanted you girls to be able to see is these are your X values and these are your then Y values. I want you girls to be able to know that. Alright? Better. So, girls, the question is, what's the car A speed? So in terms of, girls stay with me, in terms of letters, what is it? That's right. That is the question when? When? Yeah. Now, there's also one extra thing that I want you to be aware of, and this is important. Girls, this is that you have to put a negative in front of 60 in this case, and that's the part a lot of students forget. I want you to know why though. Look at the wording of the question. It says, yeah, that's right. It says car A is moving towards intersection, but it says car B is moving away from the intersection. And when you're going in opposite direction, you have to put a minus. This is the part a lot of students forget to do. Alright? Alright. Girls, let's rewrite all of these in terms of what we need. So, we got dy over dt. Okay. What do I need? What comes after? Yeah, this is actually the same formula as the one that I introduced you to with, isn't it? So, this is the question. Alright, this is the question. This we have. Okay? This we need. How are we going to come up with an expression where x and y are both related to each other? Think of this triangle. Very good. Pythagoras theorem. Can you see the right triangle? That's right. So, going back here now, so mine was this. Yeah? Hold on. Now, if we're trying to make this, right, what do we need to make the subject of here?
Y squared.
Oh yeah, in this case, y, right? So y squared is equal to 100 take away x squared. Y is equal to? Now, okay, here's the problem. Okay, girls, this is a new technique that I haven't taught in TUNET, but I'm going to fast forward to you girls now. Girls, I haven't taught you, now this is the same thing as writing half, isn't it? I have not taught you how to differentiate this type of expression yet, but here's how you do it. So I'm combining two lessons in one. Right, it's called a chain rule, and it's not hard. All right, so when you want to differentiate something with a bracket to the power of, what you do is you bring that power down first of all. the bracket stuff inside stays the same, but the further thing you got to do, also take away 1 at the same time. We know that. That's minus a half. You with me so far?
Yes.
But you also now got to times by the differentiation of inside. That's the extra thing you got to do. What's the differentiation of that? Sorry? That's right. So this is the extra step. All right? So, girls, if I continue with this, girls, can I simplify that? What's half times that? Yes, just minus x. So, girls, this expression is really minus x all over. Oh, yeah, you girls see if you can understand this. Anything to the power of negative is at the bottom. Yeah? Square root is the power of half. So, girls, this is your expression for... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, it is. We just differentiated. This is your expression for dy over dx. Okay? But we need it now. What do I need? I need the actual value of that. So what are we substituting?
X squared.
That's right. Because that's the question. Okay, when we substitute x equals to 8, all right, so I've got minus 8 over square root 100 minus 8 squared. All right, so what are we doing now? Yeah, that's right. So we want to answer now dy over dt. So what's my value for that? Minus 4 over 3 times by minus 60. And if you put that in your calculator, that's your answer. Okay, isn't that cool if you think about it?